Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Ryan. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan, he's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Tate. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 30, the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 93 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
What we got?
On 2nd down, it's Freeman. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Ryan to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because
they get to the football. It's blocked. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Well, this is Callaway on the receiving end. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. Operating from the gun. Tate got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Well, second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, Ryan. And this is caught by Watkins. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This looks like a free play for Ryan. Again, that's Watkins.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options.
Under 10, 10.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again. Tate. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Looking to throw. Tate. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Tate. Throwing left side, it's complete. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Around the NFL, they're in the 2nd in Philly. And that's now a 2-touchdown game as the Eagles have scored again. Carson Wentz with 1 touchdown pass thus far. Here's Ryan. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Ryan looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Ryan now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Throwing again, Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Here's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So here are the Packers now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Let's go.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly,
And he coughed it up. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Again, it's Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again. Ryan looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Throwing now. Ryan on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Ryan now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. Ryan. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline.
Here we go.
The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive.
Watch out, watch out.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Rashawn Gary, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Shrugs him off. Still on his feet. Eluding the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You better be ready next time.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Number 53, Mike 53. Oh, you got deep?
On 1st down, Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire